On Billboard tonight, an unusual portrait club in Louth, a door-to-door poet from Newcastle and a contemporary folk duo from York. Welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for our monthly roundup of arts and entertainment in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. In our new feature for 2023, we look back at some of our most popular music guests over the last 6 years and ask, where are they now?
I'll be waiting there with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world.
Take me to the career move for you that when you started becoming an Elvis performer. But how old were you at the time when you took to the stage, dressed in the clobber, and did Elvis?
Oh my God. In the back of my dad's car, I'd always hear these songs like American Trilogy and Unchained Melody, and you think, that's amazing, you know. And so yeah, my dad had a guitar in the house which I'd pick up and just start learning the chords, and it just went from there, really. Yeah, just one day I just decided, oh, you know, I much prefer singing Elvis songs rather than sitting in some studio waiting for a pop artist or whatever, because I was playing the guitar for people at the time. And yeah, so I just got a local band together and put, you know, an advert in the free ads and whatever, local papers. And yeah, you know, just started in the pubs and stuff like that, the clubs, and it just escalated, yeah.
Sing with me now. Everybody.
I went to America in 2010, and I think that really helps if you put something like, you know, direct from the USA or whatever. It obviously all helps, doesn't it? You know, because it, you know, direct from Bridlington doesn't have the same effect. But yeah,
Let alone Grimsby, you know, where you're going in a few weeks' time.
Grimsby, of course, yeah, direct from Grimsby. But they do a great curry there, I must admit. I do love going to Grimsby. Come on.
Waiting there with my arms unfurled. My world. 1009. Let's have a folks back on. This is a promise they call it, and the poor boys on the line. The record shows I took a boat and
Considered by many of our viewers and music critics to be the best Elvis tribute act in the world, we first caught up with Ben Portsmouth during his 2018 European tour. Since we last met Ben on Billboard, he has been wowing audiences and Elvis fans around the world with his tribute show Taking Care of Elvis. You can check out the UK dates and venues for this anniversary world tour on his website. The Hammond House Gallery in Louth has a new portrait club that meets every Tuesday morning to draw a different portrait each week. Sitters for the club receive a £10 fee and can choose their favourite from the drawings created by the 10 artists to take home. To inquire about sitting, contact Elise Ballard, or to join the portrait club, Lainey Dalzell. Rowan McCabe from Newcastle on Tyne is the world's first door-to-door poet. I couldn't resist the chance to catch up with this intriguing character after a recent gig in Lincolnshire as part of his UK tour.
Thanks, Ben. 8:22 now. Excuse me. It started as a hobby for Rowan McCabe, knocking on people's doors and offering to write them a personal poem.
Now, a year on, he's been given an Arts Council grant to continue his work as Britain's only door-to-door poet.
It was 2015, that's when it all started. And yeah, I was kind of asking the questions about what the role of a poet is, you know, and it was almost like a tongue-in-cheek joke. What would happen if poetry was a normal job? and you had to get up and do a 9 to 5, and it was beginning to dawn on us that I didn't know anyone on my street. I never interacted with them, and I was thinking about how that's not really very unusual either. You know, I think a lot of people don't talk to the neighbours, and I was wondering about why that is and whether you could use poetry to question it.
So, what's been your experiences of knocking on people's doors and asking them if you can write a poem for them?
I mean, I didn't think it was going to work when I first started doing it. I really didn't. I thought it would be funny to try, and I really wasn't expecting it to be received as well as it was. I took it to an estate near where I live called the Biker Wall, and it went quite well there. And it became like this almost exploration of trying to find a location where somebody seemed sure it wouldn't work, and trying it there. And I suppose that's a way of me saying that actually overall it was much more positive than I could have hoped for, really.
So, are you planning to publish any of the poetry you've written on this project?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm in the middle of writing a book about everything that happened to us at the minute. Yeah, and I think that's sort of the next step, really.
So, tell me a little bit about the show.
I was going to visit a place every month for 12 months, starting in March 2019. And so the show charts that journey. It includes my visit to Boston in Lincolnshire, which you might know is, well, it was named the most divided town in the UK. Could the locations be somehow saying something about England as a whole, about where we're sort of at this particular moment? It's a mixture of theatre and poetry. And so sometimes I'm just standing up sharing the story in front of the audience. Sometimes I'm embodying scenes and I'm physically in certain locations or taking on other characters.
You can check out the dates and venues for the rest of the tour at rowanthepoet.com. The Caxton Theatre in Grimsby are celebrating their 80th anniversary and performing one of the latest plays by Alan Ayckbourn. Cathy Bennett-Ryan is here to tell us more.
Amateur theatre in Grimsby has been going for 80 years, and for most of those 80 years we've had a theatre on Cleethorpes Road. Well, obviously it started in 1943 during the war. Staff at the Grimsby Evening Telegraph, as it was then, decided that they needed something to take people's minds off the war and thought that they would put on some plays. So we've got a grand 80th birthday raffle, and lots of our members have got books of tickets to sell, and we're selling them at the theatre during the next play. The next play is coincidentally called Birthdays Past and Birthdays Present by Alan Ayckbourn. It's a comedy. It's a relatively recent play of Mr. Ayckbourn's, and it's very, very funny. It concerns a family, mother and father, and their son Adrian, and it goes backwards in time. The premise of it is that Adrian has a reputation for being a sex maniac. And as we go back in time, we find out how he got this reputation, and there is a very interesting either cupboard or wardrobe involved. Well, everything's a bit miserable, isn't it? You know, prices have gone up, the weather's horrible. You want a good laugh, and I mean it's a good laugh. You want to be thoroughly entertained. Come and see Birthdays Past and Birthdays Present.
Birthdays Past and Birthdays Present runs from the 10th to the 17th of June. Tickets from the theatre website. Music now and news of some of the best live gigs around the region with folk singer and music historian Kirsty Hanna.
The Gathering Fest returns to Meridian Showground in Cleethorpes on the 6th of June with a huge music lineup worthy of your best moves. Enjoy 12 hours of your favourite dance music from over 60 acts in 5 arenas, including Paul Oakenfold, Darren Styles and Ultrabeat. American singer-songwriter and visual artist Rachel Sage is at the Wrecking Ball Arts Centre in Hull on Sunday the 4th of June. Founder of indie label Empress Records, Sage is one of the top 100 independent artists of the past 15 years, releasing 14 studio albums.
Not afraid to kiss. You look me up and down, you tell me what you want. You're not afraid to cry and you're not afraid to flaunt.
The Beverley Folk Festival returns this year on the 16th and 17th of June, with workshops, dance and some of the best performers on the current folk scene, including Hannah Moole, the Magpies and Billboard favourites Katie Spencer and Rachel McKenna. Fans of The Searchers are looking forward to a return tour which includes Hull City Hall on the 4th of June. In a career that lasted over 6 decades, this iconic Merseyside band found fame in the 60s and 70s with hits like Love Potion No. 9, In This Life and Needles and Pins. The Castaways are part of the Music Nights collection at Caister Arts and Heritage Centre on June the 16th. Performing a mixture of shanties and sea-themed folk songs, this group of Caister dads, who raise money for deserving charities, are joined by upcoming local musician Rhys Brutnell. And finally, you can catch Ferocious Dog at Docks Academy Grimsby on the 17th of June. This 6-piece band deal in a vibrant vein of Celtic folk-infused punk rock, comfortably slotting in between Billy Bragg and the Levellers. Their broad spectrum of influences is tied together by the band's left-leaning convictions and a shared desire to communicate through music.
It's a far cry from the blue skies, dusty roads and killer drones. It's a far cry from the blue skies, dusty roads. That's the life that he knows.
I've worked in care on and off for 18 years now. I enjoy it so much. You know, I'm making a real difference to people's lives. It's so rewarding.
I'd encourage people to definitely come in to this sector. I wouldn't do anything else now.
Well, it's a very rewarding job. You're making a difference to people's lives.
I love my job. I think it's a very demanding job, but the outcomes do outweigh that.
I laugh, I smile, I cry with the clients, so they come as part of the family.
Going out and changing their lives, but then they change yours at the same time. It's a lot more rewarding than I thought.
Coming up on tonight's show, summer entertainment from the Culture House and a talented folk duo from York. But first, here's actress and broadcaster Liz Drury with a review of the latest film releases.
I have a favor to ask.
What is it?
My grandniece. I would like you to
Our
take...
resident film review host Liz Drury is on holiday this month, but we still have some great films for you to watch, including Disney's take on a popular Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale and the latest edition in a sci-fi franchise from Marvel. But first, Master Gardener from legendary filmmaker Paul Schrader. This sparse and thoughtful story stars Joel Edgerton as Narvel Roth, a meticulous horticulturalist devoted to tending the grounds of an historic estate owned by the wealthy dowager Mrs. Haverhill. Chaos enters Narvel's ordered world when he is forced to take on Mrs. Haverhill's wayward great-niece Maya as an apprentice.
Gardening is a belief in the future, a belief that things will happen according to plan. Who did this to you?
What are you gonna do?
Time to start a new life.
I have created this life, filled it with rules. Now seems the time to break one.
Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid retains the heart and soul of Hans Christian Andersen's story we know and love. Halle Bailey plays Ariel, a beautiful and spirited young mermaid with a thirst for adventure, who is longing to find out more about the world beyond the sea. When she falls for the dashing Prince Eric, she makes a deal with the evil witch Ursula to experience life on land.
Watching, you'll see. Someday
She's a human. You're a mermaid.
That doesn't make us enemies.
Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 works best for followers of the franchise, but is still an enjoyable film in its own right. Peter Quill, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, must rally his team of misfits to defend the universe while protecting one of their own. If the mission is not successful, it could lead to the end of the Guardians as we know them.
Are you ready for one last ride?
We'll all fly away together into the forever in a beautiful sky.
Our family film tonight is The Amazing Maurice, a computer-animated fantasy based on the book by Terry Pratchett. A streetwise ginger cat with a sneaky disposition teams up with a flute player and a team of intelligent rats to trick villagers into paying for a Pied Piper-like service. Maurice's plans are upset when they reach the stricken town of Bablintz and meet a bookworm named Melissa.
Ominous.
Don't worry, a cat always lands on its feet. Ah, Maurice! Amazing, Maurice. You have to fight it! Come to me!
What? You'll have to find out the rest yourself. The Amazing Maurice.
On DVD and Blu-ray, Archangel, Edie and the French Dispatch are also worth a look. Liz will be back next month with more great films for you to watch. Residents in Grimsby can look forward to a summer of entertainment and activities thanks to an exciting new programme funded by Arts Council England. I caught up with Becky Darnell from the Culture House to find out more.
The Culture House was founded by Charlotte Bowen in 2010. For a long time it was solely Charlotte on a one-woman mission, you could say, to bring much needed culture to the area. North East Lincolnshire is really underserved when it comes to culture. So as a place-based organisation, a lot of what we do is about celebrating local, and whether that be, you know, people, art, culture, and certainly heritage. So the Culture House obviously has been growing and evolving since 2010. From April, we have been awarded a national portfolio status from Arts Council England. So we're the only NPO within the area, so it's a great honour and responsibility. But what that means is that Arts Council England have invested in the Culture House for 3 years for us to deliver on our place-based strategies, support local talent, and also support the local creative sector. And through the programme, what we're trying to do is tell Grimsby's story about, you know, where we're at in terms of the renewable future. And largely as well, what we're looking to do is use our Future Starts Here as a platform to be able to connect people to current issues of our time. The best place to find out what's happening as it's happening is on our social media channels, so at the Culture House GY. Do stay in touch with us and interact, because we love to hear from people. But also as well, all of our programmes will be announced with lineups on our website.
Pen and Stu are a talented contemporary folk duo from York who write and perform their own music. They joined us in the Billboard studio to talk about their music and their forthcoming album.
as a boy, she bravely joined up as a soldier. She married the same, he knew her name, better life they wanted to see.
When I met Penny, I think it was August 2014. We met at an open mic in York. I was playing in a duo with my mate Mel, and it was actually Mel who introduced me to Penny because he knew her. He said, "I'm really busy at work, I can't do this anymore, but I understand Penny would like to play in a duo." So I propositioned Penny.
Just sailing in circles, drifting, hurting no more. Just sailing in circles, fighting the waves, coming out of the storm.
We're doing a lot more folk songs that are inspired by events and historical characters and that sort of thing, which I find really fascinating as well. Sailing in Circles is about a pirate queen called Mary Read, and she was operating in the Caribbean in the early 1700s. As a young child, she was disguised as a boy by her mother. So she went to sea eventually, and then she joined Jack Rackham's ship. She met up with another pirate queen, a lady called Anne Bonny, and they became fast friends. Eventually, obviously, it was revealed that she was a female, and they were pirating for quite some time in the Caribbean.
To go back to sea is all that could be, a life that would seem to be free.
You know, playing live, you know, people are there for experience, so give them a really good experience as well as listening to great music. Just give them some fun as well. That's what we try and do when we play live. We engage with the audience, we sort of tell jokes, we take the mickey out of each other, which people seem to find amusing. And
they remember.
And they remember. You know, there are many sort of duos and they're playing two guitars, but they're just playing the same chords. They're almost like chasing them around. And what we try to have is a different sound. So it's very rare we actually have the same instrument. We've got a few sort of festivals coming up.
We're going into the studio in a couple of months' time. We're going to start recording a new album, getting some new tracks together.
The album is going to follow the theme of building on historical characters and events.
There'll be some new Pirate Queen songs on the album, and we'll be putting some of those out on our Facebook and our YouTube, some little teasers, and yeah.
Just sailing in circles, drifting, hurting no more. Just sailing in circles, fighting the waves, coming out of the storm.
You can enjoy more music from Pen and Stu in the extended version on our YouTube channel. More entertainment news now as Gemma Lingard reviews some of the best shows from around the region in box office.
Cheers, Jed. So, starting us off at Grimsby Auditorium on the 10th of June is The Haunting of Blaine Manor. Set in England, 1953, the renowned American parapsychologist Dr. Roy Earle, famous for discrediting hauntings and exposing fake mediums, is invited to attend a séance in Blaine Manor, said to be the most haunted building in England.
Last night, it woke up.
A Splash of Milk is at Hull Truck Theatre on the 29th of June. A Splash of Milk follows Sunny, a queer person of colour struggling with where they fit in within the queer community, on a journey from their childhood bedroom through to several individual experiences of racism and ignorance queer people of colour have faced. Over at the Plowright Theatre in Scunthorpe on the 20th of June is The Addams Family, a new musical. In the kooky, upside-down world of the Addams Family, to be sad is to be happy, to feel pain is to feel joy, and death and suffering are the stuff of their dreams. Nonetheless, this quirky family still has to deal with many of the same challenges faced by any other family, especially the spookiest nightmare faced by every family. The Addams kids are growing up. Jurassic Live comes to Hull Bonus Arena on the 17th of June, featuring mind-blowing special effects, professional puppeteers and the UK's most realistic dinosaurs. This 90-minute full-stage production isn't a show to miss. Jurassic Live really is the most incredible dinosaur show on Earth. And finally, direct from the West End, Whitney, Queen of the Night, is coming back to celebrate the music and life of one of the greatest singers of our time with a sensational cast and stunning live band. You can see it over at the Embassy Theatre in Skegness on the 3rd of June.
Well, that's almost all for tonight's show. You can keep up to date with the latest news on our Facebook page. And to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, click the subscribe button below. If you have a story you would like us to feature on Billboard, email details to news@billboardtv.uk. From everyone on the Billboard team, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in June for more entertainment news, entertaining guests and great music.